What is the word, mockingbirds? Welcome back to what is another beautiful day in the mountains. I gotta say, if this is winter, as they have described it, we have been blessed. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping. It's almost like it's already spring. Hope everybody had a good week and a good start to the weekend. I have some things that I'm going to get moseyed up here around the property. As I've mentioned before, I believe, I do live in an RV, and that's her right there. Despite, full disclosure here, despite living in an RV, I am not without means. I'm not 100% off-grid, although I can be. I do have access to power, water, and septic here at the property, so that's helpful. But I got some must-dos I got to take care of this morning with the trailer. Those things that come with living full-time in an RV, dumping the septic, getting propane, things of that nature. And because it is actually heated by a wood fireplace, as you've probably seen, I got to go and get some wood today so that I can replenish my stores. Because despite the fact that it is nice during the day, it is dipping down very cold up here in the mountains at night. So we're going to take a walk this morning, enjoy some of this weather, and then get back and get to work. So hopefully you stay tuned and join me for a day in the life. Well, here we are. Home sweet home, back at the base camp. Old Amy in the RV there. Time to get started on the must-do list and get this day rolling. Alrighty, guys. Back from a beautiful morning walk and quick change of clothes so that we can get started on the must-dos here. Living in an RV. You know, I've been living in an RV of some sort for the last 5 years. And I got to tell you, I wouldn't change a thing. They are more than I need. I could see where maybe if you had a huge family of like 4, it could be difficult, but living by yourself, I got no complaints. It's just big enough for me. I have a huge bed, which I love, a really nice kitchen, a really nice bathroom and shower area. And the best part about it is I can clean the whole thing in about 3 minutes. So there's that. but I've lived in several, and I've liked them all. They've all served their purpose at the time. The first one I had was a huge 40-foot diesel pusher, and that thing was a flat-out land yacht. I loved it. It had everything. The thing had a bar in it, self-leveling. You push the button, and it just does everything for you. Um, and you know, as much as I love that thing, it had its drawbacks. They are expensive to own. You know, tires or semi-tires are super expensive, and if you blow one on the freeway, you ain't fixing it yourself. So there's a lot of money there. You know, $500 in fuel, $300 in propane when you refill. They are just money pits. Not to mention the batteries on board. I think at one point looking to replace those before I sold it was about $3,000 for 9 batteries to run the coach. So from there, I downgraded substantially to about a 26-foot trailer, no slide outs. And I lived in that for a little while I was looking for this one. I knew that I wanted slide outs. As you can see, this one has 2, one in the bedroom, one in the living room. But I also wanted a toy hauler. And the reason I wanted that was because I do have a Harley. I do have a dirt bike. And I like to be able to take those places with me, especially in the summertime, so I can enjoy them while I'm out and about. And I liked having the trailer because even if I was somewhere camping, I had a vehicle that I could just drive. I know that with the motorhome, I could buy a tow setup for it, but it just wasn't practical and cost effective for me, because even though I had a vehicle tow behind it that I could drive, I didn't have the option of having that as well as the motorcycles if I wanted. So I purchased this in 2022, and I've been living in it for the last 2.5 years, and I got no complaints. But anyway, time to get started on some of these things I need to take care of. All right, priority number 1, propane. Feels good, but I do know that this one is empty, so that is the one that's going to take a ride with us. Now, as I mentioned before, living in an RV for as long as I have, there is an inevitable moment that comes. And it doesn't matter what kind of RV it is. It doesn't matter how much you paid for it. It doesn't matter if it is a land yacht like the one that I have. Inevitably, at some point, there comes a time that you got to do the nasty. And I find that there are many different people that you meet when it comes to doing the nasty, but the 2 most important ones are the ones that wear gloves and the ones that don't. And so I'm going to leave you with this. At some point, you're going to go camping, and you're going to meet somebody who does the nasty and does not wear gloves. I would encourage you not to meet that person, shake hands with that person, or have dinner with that person, because I can only imagine how nasty that trailer probably is. And God, you're going to eat with those hands and touch your wife? Ugh. Does she know? Anyway, if you got to do the nasty, please be a gentleman, gentlewoman, glove up. All right, YouTubers, if you haven't figured it out, the nasty. I'm going to refrain from exposing you to the nasty, but now you know what I'm talking about. Glove up, safety first. All right, now that the nasty's done, let's get this loaded up. And Ashley over here, and we'll head into town and get some propane. And you guys have already met Amy. This is Ashley. Ashley I bought brand new. She is my tow vehicle, and she is a whiskey drinking, fighting, haggard beast. That's how I would describe her. You know, it's kind of like if you went to a bar and it's an old, nasty, rundown, smoky bar, and there's this lady sitting there and she's talking to you and you ask her a question and she says, you know, I've been coming to this place for 30 years. That's what I imagine Ashley would sound like if she could talk. So we're going to get loaded up, head to Tractor Supply, and catch up with you in a few. All right, here we are. See if we can get some help with propane. Well, as luck would have it, if you've known me long enough, they are out of propane. So now I got to go find another spot. So we'll see what Smith's Feed up the road has. All right, that worked out. Shout out to Spence Feed for saving the day. We'll get back on the road. All righty, back to the homestead. Oh, with this massive tank of propane, and go get that hooked up. And then as soon as we're done with that, be back to the third chore of the day, getting some firewood. So we'll get this thing hooked up and get back after it. And hopefully we can get a good little stockpile of wood today. Right. Get you all clicked up. Work back down. That is that. All right, time to head to the bottom of the property and see if we can get some firewood to help make it through the days, as they are getting cold at night. So we'll head down the hill and pick back up when we get there. Ta-da! Through the magic of YouTube and by the power of Grayskull, that's got to be the fastest that anybody has cut wood, split wood, and stacked wood in history. What was that, about half second? Damn, I'm good. Now, I bet some of you are going to give me crap about my Poulan chainsaw. And that's okay. I can understand. But I will tell you this. I've had that thing since high school. And I'm close to 50 now. So what does that tell you? It has been an absolute beast. Now, it has had some work done. And it's been through some therapy. But she is old reliable. And I will never get rid of her. So, anyhow, having said that, it's starting to get chilly. And I haven't eaten anything all day. So I should probably do that. So I think I'm going to cut this out here. And I appreciate you spending the day with me. And look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Cheers.